Employment Secretary, Mr. James Pryor, got a rowdy reception when he opened the debate on unemployment, now running at 2,680,000. Mr. Pryor said the government was extremely concerned and anxious about the figures. At one point, the left-wing Labour MP for Bolsover, Mr. Dennis Skinner, told Mr. Pryor, "You're no longer a wet, you're just a dishcloth for the Prime Minister." But Mr. Pryor, ignoring the interruption, said there was no easy or painless remedy. Our political correspondent, David Rose, was in the House.
Well, this debate just didn't match up to the importance of the subject. Government speakers said theirs were the only policies, and opposition speakers criticised them without revealing many alternatives. And for the past hour, when first Mr. Foot spoke and then Mrs. Thatcher, the House has been noisy and bad-mannered. The Prime Minister was in scathing form when she rose at 9:30. Mr. Foot had asked for this debate, and she said he'd reduced it to a farce. "I have never heard a more disgraceful speech in my life," she declared. Certainly Mr. Foot's speech was long on jokes but short on policy. When the economy bottomed out, a phrase of such felicity Mr. Foot thought the Chancellor must have been responsible for it, the upturn would not happen by accident. It would need government direction and government intervention. But by the end, Tory MPs were bellowing at Mr. Foot for insights into Labour's policies. So when Mrs. Thatcher closed, Labour MPs thought they had a licence to talk among themselves during her speech, and they did, with the Speaker interrupting them occasionally. Mrs. Thatcher's theme was the need for Britain to become more competitive, and she finished, "I don't doubt the concern and compassion of members opposite. Let them not doubt ours." But Labour MPs almost drowned her last words with shouts of "Resign, resign." But one just heard the Prime Minister shouting, "Our victory lies in not running from reality, but in facing it." And MPs have just rejected the opposition amendment criticising the government by 311 votes to 249. That's a government majority of 62. David Rose, News at 10, Westminster.